Hi there, it's Joe, and I'm just going to go over my project for CSC444, which is a handwritten letter decipher using deep learning processes. So first, I'm going to have to load the data, which takes some time, so let me speed it up real quick for you. Alright, now that that's done, you will see right here, it does pop up a little bit of a GUI. Alright, and with this GUI, what we can do is we can start our test/prediction process. So for example, if we click right here and hit start test, it will bring up the correct letter that our program has to guess. When you hit show prediction, it's going to bring up the same one, which means it works correctly, and the prediction is O. So that basically means it was able to correctly guess everything. To get to that, basically we load in all of our data from a separate file just to keep things a little bit cleaner. We start off up here with all of our library imports, pandas for the CSV, matplotlib for the graphs, seaborn, numpy, and sklearn for a lot of the training. And it's my first time using it, but I used Keras for this one as well, which is actually just a really pretty in-depth training model. But as you can see, you probably recognize a bunch of these from before. I load in the data set. I start converting the data set to float 32, which is better for this particular data that we're using. I put it into a graph, which you saw earlier. It's right up here. This basically shows how many instances of each letter are in our data. You can see the letter O is used the most, and then A through Z otherwise. So it's kind of cool just to visualize it, see like kind of what kind of the data looks like that we're using. Otherwise, I do a random seed to start getting samples to randomly compare our data to for the program to start learning. It loads it into our data set. We pop it in the train test split that we've used before in class, and that just starts the training process. And then it tests itself to get used to the data and start learning. And then this is the craziest new one that I actually started using, which is the model fit from Keras. It actually uses an epoch which goes through each instance of the data and compares it against itself. So if we pull it up here, you'll see right here, this is where it got its training data. Accuracy got to 88%. And then when it actually got to the test stage, in just one passer, it's already at 98%, which is awesome. And that's how I was able to be so accurate. Otherwise, we're just going to go to the main real quick. That just kind of shows how I loaded everything into the GUI. It's just a simple tkinter frame. I loaded in the variables from the data so I could put them into my functions here. And those just basically grab the data and put it into a graph to be able to show the prediction. And then we actually use our prediction function from, I believe, Keras. Otherwise, it's just typical packing of the tkinter. But that's pretty much everything on my program. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me if this is shown in class. Otherwise, Mr. Hinton, same thing if you have any questions. You guys have a good one.